Okay, music fans, welcome back. It is I, Dave, the real music observer, observing real music in real time for real people just like you right there, just like me right here. So officially, the real music observer, that would be me, has decided to take a side, an official side in the Heart breakup. The band Heart has been on hiatus for quite some time now, thanks to a bit of a domestic squabble between the sisters, based on the fact that Ann Wilson's husband more or less beat up on a couple of Nancy Wilson's kids because they let the dogs out. That's basically the story in a nutshell. And no, it's not a segue for who let the dogs out. Kind of a serious matter, and I'm not trying to make light of it. I kind of demeaned Nancy Wilson's new project, Road Case Royale, a little bit in one of my videos, and I've been doing a little bit more listening to that project, and not a holy crap Batman moment, but more or less a wow, this is pretty good music moment. That album, I believe, came out last summer, and it features a very interesting vocalist by the name of Liv Walker, who used to work, I believe, with Prince to some degree, or Prince listened to her on YouTube. There's some story behind that, and then she got to tour with the New Power generation. She's got a real soulful voice, and she can really belt it out. Here's the thing, I was a little bit miffed that Nancy was blowing up the whole Heart model to some degree. You've got basically a much more soulful version of a Heart-like band out there. And again, my apologies to Ann Wilson, who I believe is soulful and who can sing, but Liv has a little bit more soul in the tank, if you know what I mean. And so I would go, if you're a Heart fan, if you're a Nancy Wilson fan, and just out of the sake of supporting Nancy Wilson, because Ann's on a big highfalutin tour this summer with Jeff Beck and Paul Rogers. Now, another interesting note here, Ann Wilson has stated a couple of times that she was tired of doing the whole Heart routine, and she didn't want to be a tribute band and basically just going through the motions and playing the old tunes and so forth. Heart actually did produce a fair amount of new music in the last 10 or 15 years, so you got to give him credit there. So I'm not sure what she was referring to. She's doing a bunch of cover tunes of people who have left planet Earth in a way to kind of immortalize them. I believe the album is actually going to be called Immortal, and she's touring with a couple of folks who are relics, both Paul Rogers and Jeff Beck, both of whom I love and appreciate, but that kind of seems like a safe space. We've sandwiched this awesome tour, and whereas Nancy took a big risk with this Road Case Royale, and most of the people in the group are unknown to the folks that would understand all the music of Heart and so forth, or travel in those circles, if you know what I mean. It's just a different... She's hired some new folks, and especially Liv is kind of risky because she's got more of a soul thing going on. So I want to continue to promote Nancy Wilson because I think she deserves it. I think she has been through a lot. Her family has been through a lot. I was hoping these two sisters could reconcile, but I think one of them has to go to the other one. And the one that has to go to the other one in this situation is Ann needs to go to Nancy. Okay, I think I've stated this in videos. I'm a little different from the other folks doing these kinds of videos because I will actually interject what I think should happen rather than just say or report on the happenings. I will actually say, hey, I think to make this wrong right, you need to go to this person and say, I'm sorry, let's, move on and so forth. I think the fact that the husband is still out there might be a deal breaker because I don't know. That would be some domestic turmoil if my spouse was beating on children. Just throwing that out there. So let's do one more plug for Road Case Royale. They're doing a red benefit for women. It's a cool thing. It's a music benefit actually featuring Wilson Phillips as well. They're still around. And Nancy Wilson of Heart, and of course Road Case Royale. That will be happening at the Avalon in Hollywood. That's May 17th. It's called Go Red for Women, just so I have the correct charity, and it's all about the American Heart Association's movement to end heart disease and strokes in women. So it's a good event. Wilson Phillips is pretty cool. I could do a video about those guys and how they hit the music wall too in the early 90s. I mean, they just broke on like thunder and lightning, and then just they're gone. 2 albums and they were gone. Just bizarre. But anyway, check out Road Case Royale. It's a good album. I would definitely check into that. It's called First Things First, and it features both Nancy Wilson and Liv Walker singing. And it's a brand new band. It's pretty cool stuff. I gave it another try, and I was proven wrong. So check out the album and support Nancy Wilson. All right, that's the video. I'm done. I'll be back with more real music in real time for real people just like you, just like me. See you then.